Okay, now this is a long one, so we'll take it step by step. And it marks Iago's temptation of Othello. And this is a pivotal scene in the tragedy, where Iago tempts Othello to enter his web of suspicion and mistrust, jealousy and confusion. So Iago attacks Othello's judgment and emotions and will eventually gain control of his mind one step at a time. Now it can be split up into about four main stages. First is the exploitation of evidence against Cassio, casting suspicion on both Cassio and Desdemona. The second is darker, and it hints that Iago is not telling Othello everything and his reasons to be jealous about Desdemona's possible cuckolding of him. Then there's more direct indications of reasons for Othello to be jealous of Desdemona, since she has been deceitful already and her choice of Othello was unnatural. And then finally, the fourth is the circumstantial evidence of Cassio's dream and the handkerchief. So there's the evidence against Cassio. First, Iago returns with the Othello from the fortifications just in time to see the end of Cassio's appeal to Desdemona, which Iago had engineered, and Cassio's embarrassed leaving suddenly, and that's a real stroke of good luck for Iago's scheme. Iago insinuates that Cassio's sudden departure really warrants suspicion. Then Desdemona's appeals to Othello on Cassio's behalf, as arranged by Cassio on Iago's advice, leaves Othello already predisposed to Iago to believe that Desdemona is appealing for her lover Cassio, and so Othello is preoccupied and evasive with Desdemona, saying, "I will deny thee nothing," just to get away from her. The next is that Iago will suggest that since Cassio was involved in Othello's wooing of Desdemona, he may be playing a double game and that his honesty may be in question. Here we see Iago's skill in manipulating Othello. Iago's temptations succeed in shaking Othello to the core, since Iago is so skillful in seeing his victims' weaknesses and preying upon them. Iago devises his methods of entrapment to answer the needs of the victim from moment to moment. His keen observation of Othello's character traits and his ability to react to the mood of the moment, well, they display an understanding of human motivation which is unsurpassed in any other character in literature. He is a master in the arts of manipulation and improvisation, and hence it is that Othello is so swiftly and decisively trapped in Iago's web. So firstly, we looked at Othello's reason and attack on Othello's reason and the judgment by innuendo and insinuation, by reiterating keywords. When Cassio leaves suddenly in embarrassment, Iago does not state directly that something is amiss. He merely hints, "Ha, I like not that," and plants the word steal, guilty into Othello's mind. Othello forms his own conclusion that Cassio was up to something underhand. Iago had said nothing, so he cannot be blamed for the consequences, yet Othello believes exactly what Iago intends him to believe. So other examples of insinuation and reiteration of words or ideas are used to make Othello believe that Iago is honest and Cassio dishonest, and that Desdemona is false to Othello. Key words include honest, think, deceive, know, jealous. Words like that. Basically, Iago is manipulating Othello's reactions to what he tells him by planting in his mind images of references designed to make Othello feel as Iago wishes him to feel. So he is designing to make Othello jealous of Cassio and Desdemona. And he does that in a roundabout method to draw out Othello's thoughts and fears. He makes Othello anxious to know if his own good name is being undermined by Desdemona's relationship with Iago. He even pretends to be glad when Othello expresses his faith in Desdemona. Then he advises him to observe his wife with Cassio, thus increasing Othello's doubts. Othello feels as Iago wishes him to feel, anxious but grateful to Iago for letting him know. Last but not least, it is the cumulative effect of Iago's skillful insinuations that weakens Othello's confidence in his own judgments and confuses his emotions. Towards the end of this scene, Othello is totally confused and shattered. He is at a loss of what he is to believe or do. He cannot cope with the uncertainty and looks for Iago to proof. When Iago suggests his proof was but a dream, it is Othello himself who says, but this denoted a foregone conclusion. Othello has become a pawn in Iago's malevolent power game. Othello's vulnerability to attack really is seen here. It might seem incredible that an outstanding man of Othello's stature should be so easily fallen prey to Iago's manipulations, however skillful. Yet Othello's outstanding qualities of character make him more vulnerable to attack. Othello has a natural curiosity to know the truth. He cannot stand uncertainty, so he is easy prey to doubts about Cassio's sudden departure and Desdemona's strong appeal for Cassio during his own marriage to Desdemona and her possible infidelity. What dost thou say so, Iago, he says. And so he prides himself on being firm and decisive, even when dealing with his friends. He has the natural sense of justice, and so he must find out if Desdemona and Cassio have committed a crime together and must punish them appropriately. Othello's an outsider, remember, in Venetian society. He doesn't know how Venetian women behave, and he accepts Iago's assertions that they cheat on their husbands. He says, dost thou say so? He lacks self-knowledge. He does not really understand his own feelings for Desdemona, and so it's easy for Iago to make Othello feel jealous of Desdemona, since he does not really understand how she feels about him or how he about her. Othello is used to the masculine world of action. He tries to deal with the complex world of sentiment and emotion in the same terms as he would in battle. If there be cords or knives, poison or fire, or suffocating streams, I'll not endure it. Would I were satisfied. He's also egoistic and proud of himself and his achievements. In particular, he's proud of his own wife's choice of him above all other suitors. He feels he's a worthy choice and cannot accept that Desdemona could possibly have any reason to reject him for Cassio. Othello is also inexperienced in sexual matters. His sensuality has just been awakened through his recent marriage. He's easily prone to sexual jealousy, which can come in a flash for little reason. Othello ultimately is unable to rationalize logically. He can only talk in generalizations, copying Iago's manner of thought in his pathetic efforts to rationalize his position. Othello has a vivid imagination, which comes perhaps from his exotic background of romance and adventure, and when Iago plays on his imagination by planting images in it, it begins to run riot. Thus, it is a combination of Iago's manipulative skills and Othello's character traits which make credible Iago's degradation of Othello from a happy, loving husband to a tormented, vengeful wretch. So it's in this scene that Iago takes the chance, finally, where he convinces Othello of his wife's infidelity by claiming falsely that he saw the handkerchief Othello gave to his wife Desdemona wipe the beard of Cassio. And thus Iago uses the innocent first love token of Othello to corrupt and degrade Othello and Desdemona's real and mutual love for each other. Desdemona has accidentally dropped the handkerchief, attempting to comfort Othello, and Emilia unwittingly picks it up to give to Iago. This prepares us for Iago's next degradation of Othello in Act 4, Scene 1, where the handkerchief will be used to effect yet again, and the handkerchief device will hasten the tragic action towards disaster and make the catastrophe all the more inevitable and tragic. And so it's really the beginning of the end for Othello. Othello loses his trust of his friend Cassio and his belief in his wife's fidelity. He casts away as worthless his career as a soldier. Farewell the tranquil mind, farewell content, he says. He has lost his sense of what is reality. Make me see it, or at least so prove it, that the probation bear no hinge nor loop to hang a doubt on. He is torn between love, jealousy, and a desire for revenge. He orders Cassio's death and decides to kill Desdemona himself and appoints Iago his lieutenant. I will withdraw to furnish me with some swift means of death, for the fair devil, now art thou my lieutenant. This scene is a turning point for Othello's character and is the beginning of the disintegration of his nobility of character. While he does not challenge the universe like King Lear does in another play, Othello is becoming the typical tragic hero. His world is beginning to fall down around him. He is brought so low in this scene, but he will fight bravely against his misfortunes. Never, Iago, like the Pontic sea, whose icy current and compulsive course ne'er feels retiring ebb, but keeps dew on the Propontic and the Hellespont, even so my bloody thoughts with violent pace shall ne'er look back, ne'er ebb to humble love, till that a capable and wide revenge swallow them up. Here we see Othello's jealousy beginning to assume gigantic proportions, all the more tragic since it is built on an illusion created by Iago's web of deceit. At the end of the scene, Othello and Iago join together in a demonic ceremony of ritual vengeance. Now by yond marble heaven, in the due reverence of a sacred vow, I here engage my words.
Be thou assured, good Cassio, I will do all my abilities in thy behalf.
Good madam, do. I warrant it grieves my husband as if the cause were his.
Oh, that's an honest fellow. Do not doubt, Cassio, but I will have my lord and you again as friendly as you were.
Bounteous madam, whatever shall become of Michael Cassio, he's never anything but your true servant.
I know it. I thank you. You do love my lord. You have known him long, and be you well assured, he shall in strangeness stand no farther off than in a politic distance.
Aye, but lady, that policy may either last so long, or feed upon such nice and water-rich diet, or breed itself so out of circumstance, that I being absent and my place supplied, my general will forget my love and service.
Do not doubt that. Before Amelia here, I give thee warrant of thy place. Assure thee, if I do vow a friendship, I'll perform it to the last article. My lord shall never rest. I'll watch him tame and talk him out of patience. His bed shall seem a school, his board a shrift. I'll intermingle everything he does with Cassio's suit. Therefore be merry, Cassio, for thy solicitor shall rather die than give thy cause away.
Madam, here comes my lord.
Madam, I'll take my leave.
Why stay and hear me speak?
Madam, not now. I'm very ill at ease, unfit for mine own purposes.
Well, do your discretion.
I like not that.
What dost thou say?
Nothing, my lord, or if I know not what.
Was not that Cassio parted from my wife?
Cassio, my lord, no, sure, I cannot think it that he would steal away so guilty like seeing you coming.
I do believe 'twas he.
How now, good lord? I have been talking with a suitor here, a man that languishes in your displeasure.
Who is't you mean?
Why, your Lieutenant Cassio. Good my lord, if I have any grace or power to move you, his present reconciliation take. For if he be not one that truly loves you, that errs in ignorance and not in cunning, I have no judgment in an honest face. I prithee call him back.
Went he hence now?
Yes, faith. So humbled that he hath left part of his grief with me to suffer with him. Good love, call him back.
Not now, sweet Desdemona, some other time.
But shall be shortly.
The sooner, sweet, for you.
Shall be tonight at supper.
No, not tonight.
Oh, tomorrow dinner then.
I shall not dine at home. I meet the captains at the Citadel.
Why then tomorrow night? Or Tuesday morn, on Tuesday noon, or night, on Wednesday morn. I prithee name the time, but let it not exceed 3 days. In faith he's penitent, and yet his trespass in our common reason, save that they say the wars must make example out of her best, is not almost a fault to incur a private check. When shall he come? Tell me, Othello. I wonder in my soul what you would ask me that I should deny or stand so mammering on. What? Michael Cassio, that came a-wooing with you. And so many a time when I have spoke of you dispraisingly have ta'en your part. To have so much to do to bring him in. By a lady, I could do much.
I prithee no more. Let him come when he will. I will deny thee nothing.
Why, this is not a boon. 'Tis as I should entreat you wear your gloves, or feed on nourishing dishes, or keep you warm, or sue to you to do a peculiar profit to your own person. Nay, when I have a suit wherein I mean to touch your love indeed, it shall be full of poise and difficult weight, and fearful to be granted.
I will deny thee nothing. Whereon I do beseech thee, grant me this, to leave me but a little to myself.
Shall I deny you? No. Farewell, my lord.
Farewell, my Desdemona. I will come to thee straight.
Amelia, come. Be as your fancies teach you. Whate'er you be, I am obedient.
Excellent wretch. Perdition catch my soul, but I do love thee. And when I love thee not, chaos has come again.
My noble lord,
What dost thou say, Iago?
did Michael Cassio, when you wooed my lady, know of your love?
He did, from first to last. Why dost thou ask?
But for a satisfaction of my thought, no further harm.
Why have thy thought, Iago?
I did not think he had been acquainted with her.
Oh, yes, and went between us very oft.
Indeed.
Indeed, I, indeed. Discernest thou aught in that? Is he not honest?
Honest, my lord.
Honest, I, honest.
My lord, for aught I know.
What dost thou think?
Think, my lord.
Think, my lord, by heavens thou echoes me. As if there was some monster in thy thought too hideous to be shown. Thou dost mean something. I heard thee say even now, thou likest not that when Cassio left my wife. What didst not like? And when I told thee he was of my counsel, of my whole course of wooing, thou criest, indeed. And didst contract and purse thy brow together, as if thou then hadst shut up in thy brain some horrible conceit. If thou dost love me, show me thy thought.
My lord, you know I love you.
I think thou dost. And for I know thou art full of love and honesty, and weighest thou words before thou givest them breath. Therefore these stops of thine fright me the more, for such things in a false disloyal knave are tricks of custom. But in a man that's just, they are close dilations working from the heart that passion cannot rule.
For Michael Cassio, I dare be sworn I think that he is honest.
I think so too.
Men should be what they seem, or those that be not, would they might seem none.
Certain men should be what they seem.
Why then I think Cassio's an honest man.
Nay, yet there is more in this. I prithee, speak to me as to thy thinkings, as thou dost ruminate and give thy worst of thoughts the worst of words.
Good my lord, pardon me. Though I am bound to every act of duty, I am not bound to that all slaves are free to utter my thoughts. Why, say they are vile and false. As where's that palace, whereinto foul things sometimes intrude not? Who has that breast so pure, wherein uncleanly apprehensions keep leets and law days, and in session sit with meditations lawful?
Thou dost conspire against thy friend, Iago. If thou but think'st him wrong, then makes his ear a stranger to thy thoughts.
I do beseech you, though I perchance am vicious in my guess, as I confess it is my nature's plague to spy into abuses, and of my jealousies shape faults that are not, that your wisdom then, from one that so imperfectly conceits, would take no notice, nor build yourself a trouble out of my scattering and unsure observance. It were not for your quiet, nor your good, nor for my manhood, honesty, or wisdom to let you know my thoughts.
What dost thou mean?
Good name in man and woman, dear my lord, is the immediate jewel of their souls. Who steals my purse steals trash. 'Tis something, nothing. 'Twas mine, 'tis his, and has been slave to thousands. But he that filches from me my good name robs me of that which not enriches him, and makes me poor indeed.
By heaven, I'll know thy thoughts.
You cannot if my heart were in your hand, nor shall not whilst 'tis in my custody.
Ah!
Beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster that doth mock the meat it feeds on. That cuckold lives in bliss, who certain of his fate loves not his wronger, but oh, what damned minutes tells he o'er, who dotes, yet doubts, suspects, yet soundly loves.
Oh, misery!
Poor and content is rich, and rich enough, but riches fineless is as poor as winter. To him that ever fears he shall be poor. Good God, the souls of all my tribe defend from jealousy.
Why? Why is this? Thinkst thou I'd make a life of jealousy? To follow still the changes of the moon with fresh suspicions? No. To be once in doubt is once to be resolved. Exchange me for a goat, when I shall turn the business of my soul to such ex offlicate and blown surmises, matching thy inference. 'Tis not to make me jealous to say my wife is fair, feeds well, loves company, is free of speech, sings, plays, and dances. Where virtue is, these are more virtuous, nor from mine own weak merit will I draw the smallest fear or doubt of her revolt. For she had eyes and chose me. No, Iago, I'll see before I doubt. When I doubt, prove, and on the proof there is no more but this, away at once with love or jealousy.
I am glad to hear this. For now I shall have reason to show the love and duty that I bear you with franker spirit. Therefore, as I am bound, receive it from me. I speak not yet of proof. Look to your wife. Observe her well with Cassio. Wear your eyes thus, not jealous nor secure. I would not have your free and noble nature out of self-bounty be abused. Look to it. I know our country disposition well. In Venice, they do let heaven see the pranks they dare not show their husbands. Their best conscience is not to leave undone, but keep unknown.
Dost thou say so?
She did deceive her father marrying you. And when she seemed to shake and fear your looks, she loved them most.
And so she did.
Why, go to then. She that so young could give out such a seeming to seal her father's eyes up close as oak. He thought 'twas witchcraft. But I am much to blame. I humbly do beseech you of your pardon for too much loving you.
I am bound to thee forever.
I see this hath a little dashed your spirits.
Not a jot. Not a jot.
I' faith, I fear it has. I hope you will consider what is spoke comes from my love. But I do see you are moved. I am to pray you not to strain my speech to grosser issues, nor to larger reach than to suspicion.
I will not.
Should you do so, my lord, my speech would fall into such vile success as my thoughts aimed not at. Cassio's my worthy friend. My lord, I see you are moved.
No, not much moved. I do not think that Desdemona is honest.
Long live she so, and long live you to think so.
And yet, how nature erring from itself.
Aye, there's the point. As to be bold with you, not to effect many proposed matches of her own clime, complexion, and degree, whereto we see in all things nature tends. Pho, one may smell in such a will most rank, foul disproportions, thoughts unnatural. But pardon me, I do not in position distinctly speak of her, though I may fear her will, recoiling to her better judgment, may fall to match you with her country forms, and haply repent.
Farewell. Farewell. If more thou dost perceive, let me know more. Set on thy wife to observe. Leave me, Iago.
My lord, I take my leave.
Why did I marry? This honest creature doubtless sees and knows more, much more than he unfolds.
My lord, I might entreat your honor to scan this thing no further. Leave it to time. Although 'tis fit that Cassio have his place, for sure he fills it up with great ability, yet if you please to hold him off a while, you shall by that perceive him and his means. Note if your wife strain his entertainment with any strong or vehement importunity, much will be seen in that. In the meantime, let me be thought too busy in my fears, as worthy cause I have to fear I am, and hold her free. I do beseech your honor.
Fear not my government.
I once more take my leave.
This fellow's of exceeding honesty and knows all qualities with a learned spirit of human dealings. If I do prove her haggard, though that her jesses were my dear heartstrings, I'd whistle her off and let her down the wind to pray at fortune. Happily, for I am black, and have not those soft parts of conversation that chambers have, or for I am declined into the vale of years, yet that's not much. Oh, curse of marriage that we can call these delicate creatures ours and not their appetites. I had rather be a toad and live upon the vapor of a dungeon than keep a corner in a thing I love for others' uses. Look, where she comes. If she be false, heaven mocks itself. I'll not believe it.
How now, my dear Othello? Your dinner and the generous islanders by you invited to attend your presence.
I am to blame.
Why do you speak so faintly? Are you not well?
I have a pain upon my forehead. Here.
Why, that's with watching. 'Twill away again. Let me but bind it hard. Within this hour it will be well.
Your napkin is too little. Let it alone. Come. I will go in with you.
I am very sorry that you are not well.
I'm glad I have found this napkin. This was her first remembrance from the moor. My wayward husband hath 100 times wooed me to steal it. But she so loves the token, for he conjured her she should ever keep it, that she reserves it evermore about her to kiss and talk to. I'll have the work taken out and give it to Iago. What he will do with it, heaven knows, not I. I nothing but to please his fantasy.
Hannah, what do you here alone?
Do not you chide. I have a thing for you.
A thing for me, it is a common thing.
Ha!
To have a foolish wife.
Oh, is that all? What will you give me now for that same handkerchief?
What handkerchief?
What handkerchief? Why, that the Moor first gave to Desdemona. That which so often you did bid me steal.
Hast stolen it from her?
No, but she let it drop by negligence. And to the advantage I being here, took it up. Look, here it is.
A good wench. Give it me.
What will you do with it that you've been so earnest to have me filch it?
Why? What is that to you?
If it be not for some purpose of import, give it me again. Poor lady, she'll run mad when she shall lack it.
Be not act known on. I have use for it. Go! Leave me! In Cassio's lodging will I lose this napkin, and let him find it. Trifles light as air are to the jealous confirmation strong as proofs of holy writ. This may do something. The Moor already changes with my poison. Dangerous conceits are in their natures poisons, which at the first are scarce found to distaste, but with a little act upon the blood, burn like the mines of sulphur. I did say so. Look where he comes. Not poppy, nor mandragora, nor all the drowsy syrups of the world shall ever medicine thee to that sweet sleep which thou owest yesterday.
False to me.
Why, Hannah, General, no more of that.
Avaunt! Begone! Thou hast set me on the rack. I swear it is better to be much abused than but to know it a little.
How now, my lord?
What sense had I in her stolen hours of lust? I saw it not, thought it not, it harmed not me. I slept the next night well, fed well, was free and merry. I found not Cassio's kisses on her lips. He that is robbed, not wanting what is stolen, let him not know it, and he's not robbed at all.
I'm sorry to hear this.
I had been happy if the general camp, pioneers and all, had tasted her sweet body, so I had nothing known. Oh, now, forever farewell the tranquil mind. Farewell content. Farewell the plumed troops and the big wars that make ambition virtue. Oh, farewell. Farewell the neighing steed and the shrill trump, the spirit-stirring drum, the ear-piercing fife, the royal banner, the all-quality pride, pomp, and circumstance of glorious war. And oh, you mortal engines, whose rude throats the immortal Jove's dread clamors counterfeit, farewell! Othello's occupation's gone.
It's possible, my lord.
Villain! Be sure thou prove my love a whore. Be sure of it. Give me the ocular proof, or by the worth of my eternal soul thou hast better have been born a dog than answer my weight wrath.
It's come to this.
Make me to see it, or at the least so prove it that the probation bear no hinge nor loop to hang a doubt on, or woe upon thy life.
My noble
If
lord.
thou dost slander her, to torture me, never pray more. Abandon all remorse. On horror's head, horrors accumulate. Do these to make heaven weep, all earth amazed. For nothing canst thou to damnation add, greater than that.
Oh, grace! Oh, heaven, defend me! Are you a man? Have you a soul or sense? God by you! Ah, take mine office! Oh, wretched fool that loves to make thine honesty a vice! Oh, monstrous world! Take note, O world! To be direct and honest is not safe! I thank you for this profit, and from hence I'll love no friend, sith love breeds such offence.
Nay, stay, thou shouldst be honest.
I should be wise, for honest is a fool and loses that it works for.
By the world! I think my wife be honest and think she is not. I think that thou art just and think thou art not. I'll have some proof. Her name, that was as fresh as Diane's visage, is now begrimed and black as mine own face. If there be cords or knives, poison or fire, or suffocating streams, I'll not endure it. Would I were satisfied!
My lord, I see you're eaten up with passion. I do repent me that I put you to it. You would be satisfied.
Would? Nay. And I will.
And may. But how? How satisfied, my lord? Would you, the supervisor, grossly gape on, behold her topped?
Death and damnation all!
It were a tedious difficulty, I think, to bring them to that prospect. What then? How then? Where's satisfaction? What shall I say? It is impossible you should see this. Were they as prime as goats, as hot as monkeys, as salt as wolves in pride, and fools as gross as ignorance made drunk? But yet I say, if imputation and strong circumstances, which lead directly to the door of truth, will give you satisfaction, you might have.
Give me a living reason. She's disloyal.
I do not like the office, but sith I'm entered in this cause so far, I will go on. I lay with Cassio lately, and being troubled with a raging tooth, I could not sleep. There is a kind of man so loose of soul that in their sleeps will mutter their affairs. One of this kind is Cassio. In his sleep I heard him say, "Sweet Desdemona, let us be wary, let us hide our loves." And then, sir, would he grip and wring my hand, cry, "Oh, sweet creature," and then kiss me hard, as if he plucked up kisses by the roots that grew upon my lips, then laid his leg on my thigh, and cried and cursed, "Oh, cursed fate that gave thee to the Moor!"
Monstrous! Monstrous.
Nay, this was but his dream.
But this denotes a foregone conclusion.
'Tis a shrewd doubt, though it be but a dream, and this may help to thicken other proofs and to demonstrate thinly.
I'll tear her all to pieces.
Nay, yet be wise, yet we see nothing done. She may be honest yet. Tell me but this. Have you not sometimes seen a handkerchief spotted with strawberries in your wife's hand?
I gave her such a one. 'Twas my first gift.
I know not that. But such a handkerchief, I'm sure it was your wife's, did I today see Cassio wipe his beard with.
If it be that.
If it be that or any that was hers, it speaks against her with the other proofs.
Oh, that the slave had 40,000 lives, One is too poor, too weak for my revenge. Now, do I see it is true? Look here, Iago. All my fond love, thus do I blow to heaven. 'Tis gone. Arise, black vengeance from thy hollow hell. Yield up, O love, thy crown and hearted throne, to tyrannous hate. Swell bosom with thy fraught, for 'tis of aspect's tongue.
Yet be content.
Blood, blood, blood!
Patience, I say, your mind perhaps may change.
Never, Iago. Like to the Pontic Sea, whose icy current and compulsive course ne'er keeps retiring ebb, but keeps due on to the Pontic and the Hellespont. Even so, my bloody thoughts with violent pace shall ne'er look back, ne'er ebb to humble love, till that a capable and wide revenge swallow them up. Now, by yond marble heaven, in the due reverence of a sacred vow, I here engage my word.
Do not rise yet. Witness, you ever-burning lights above, you elements that flip us round about. Witness that here Iago doth give up the execution of his wit, hands, heart, to wronged Othello's service. Let him command, and to obey shall be in me remorse. What bloody business ever!
I greet thy love, not with vain thanks, but with acceptance, bounteous. I will upon the instant put thee to it. Within these 3 days, let me hear thee say that Cassio is not alive.
My friend is dead. 'Tis done at your request. But let her live.
Damn her! Lewd minx, damn her! Damn her! Come, go with me apart. I will withdraw to furnish me with some swift means of death for the fair devil. Now art thou my lieutenant.
I am your own, forever.